Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of ICU Talk. This is C Division here, and yes, I did say C Division. This is my first time on the mic doing an episode, and because this is C Division and not U Division, there will be no epic Paper Mario talk because that game is all him. And as you've seen from the recent demo, it looks amazing, but unlike the other Mario games, I have nothing to do with this one. And so the purpose of this video is just to do a quick update for what I've been doing the past year and what I plan to do coming up. The past year I haven't had too much news, as you've probably noticed. I did release an Orlith Dawn trailer a few weeks ago, and that still is my main priority. However, the past year I've been really busy with school. First of all, I'm currently in graduate school and I'm taking classes full time. So that took over a big portion of my week and my daily activities. But even more so than that, since completely finishing Starlight Worlds about over a year ago, I came to realize I've just been drained game making wise. Like mentally I wanted to jump right back into game making as soon as I finished Starlight Worlds. In fact, I did start developing Orlith Dawn before Starlight Worlds was complete back in 2014, I believe. And Orlith Dawn was going to be a commercial game at first, and it was going to be completely different, but that all changed. Once I did release Starlight Worlds, the priority shifted to just doing the updates and doing the Monster of the Moments for Starlight Worlds and just working on that. So Orlith was kind of put on hold. But as I was working on the updates for Starlight Worlds, I realized just how drained I was of making it, because I worked on it just for so long. It ended up being a much longer game than I anticipated, and it was just years of working on Starlight Worlds all through the end of high school and also college. And so once I finished Story of Styron, which was the very last thing, even that was really hard to finish, even though it was just cutscenes and not any gameplay. So at that point I realized just how drained I was from game making when it became that even the Story of Styron cutscenes were just hard to motivate myself to finish. It became clear that I was mentally drained from that aspect. So fast forward a year, I announced the Zelda Era of the Lost a little over a year ago. And that was simply because I saw a concept that I liked. You saw the 2D platforming aspect with that I mentioned in the teaser trailer. So it's kind of more like a Square Enix announcement than a Nintendo type announcement, because almost no work had actually been done on the project at the time. But also throughout the past year, I have been working on Orlith Dawn some. It wasn't as much as I'd wanted to, but that game is actually in like a showable state. The battle system mechanics have been basically complete for over a year. The story itself at this point is several hours long, so it's not too deep in the story, but a few main events of the story have happened. So that game is obviously further along than Zelda is. But my plans for the future are to be working on Orlith and Zelda simultaneously. For Orlith, it's all about continuing since things are already set up, like I mentioned before, the battle system. And Zelda is still in its baby stages because almost no work has been done on Zelda over the past year. But Zelda will be a project that will get a few demos. You guys have probably realized I don't like to do a lot of demos. I just prefer just to have the game complete, ready to go, and not split downloads, I guess if you could say that. I only gave Seven Sages one demo, and I gave Starlight Worlds 2 only once I realized that this game was going to be exceedingly long. So I did a second demo, but as you guys probably remember, that demo only went up to the beginning of Cheddar Desert, if I remember correctly, which was like, what, 10% of the game? So that demo didn't even go anywhere. But Zelda, it will be a type of game that will get demos because of what I'm trying to do with it and also the systems. I think that would be a better way to engage the fan base. I know some people are curious about the story and why Ganondorf seems to be with Link in that teaser, but all that will come later down the line and you'll get the updates as they come. Right now I'm analyzing Zelda's battle system actually. I know in the teaser I said it would be turn-based, But I've been looking at some battle systems lately, and I think I'm going to actually use the LMBS battle system. I think it's created by Mog Hunters. It's basically a Tales of battle system for RPG Maker VX Ace, so you can YouTube it if you want an example. I've always wanted to do an action battle system actually, like the XAS battle system that you may be aware of, but it just never happened, most likely due to they usually take place on the overworld, and that always just interfered with stuff, and usually they only had one player, some of the battle systems that were action oriented. But for this battle system, like I mentioned before, it's Tales of, so it takes place in a separate map. I've been watching videos the past few days, and I played the actual demo with the script, and there's definitely some jank in there, I'm not gonna lie, probably a little too much for my liking. But looking at like the skills, the parameters, and the stuff you can customize, I think there is enough there for me to make what I want. If you remember SW, Starlight Worlds, it uses the Tenkin Tai battle system, and if you watch like a random video of that and compare it to Starlight Worlds, you can see just how much we did to take it from that battle system to what it ended up releasing with. So I think we could definitely do that again if we're able to get our hands on this battle system and just work with it. And if I do a Zelda video in the near future, it'd definitely be showcasing the battle system and doing stuff like that. So that's gonna be my priority first, just getting down the battle system and the platforming and see what I want to do with that. But again, that's basically it for Zelda, but Orleaf Dawn is still like the main priority. There's just less to say about Orleaf Dawn because it's story focused. I just want to do it, complete it, and release it. It's not going to get probably any demos, to be honest. I'm just going to try to finish it and see how it goes. There's other stuff I also want to do. I'm not going to mention that right now. I just want to give you a quick update for what I've been doing and what I'm going to do this next coming up period of time. If you have any questions or comments, just subscribe, or if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. And also subscribe if you want to get the latest videos and latest information. And if you haven't joined our forums yet, be sure to check those out as well. So thank you for tuning in, and hope to see you again on another episode of ICU Talk.